If you're looking for public art in Cortez, look no farther than the city's streets and alleys, where more than 40 murals are on display throughout the business district. You're watching the local news network, brought to you by Kazee Motors and Big O Tires in Cortez. I'm Wendy Graham-Settle. Whether you're driving up Main Street or walking down a side street, you can't help but notice the many murals that decorate commercial and public buildings around town. A local arts advisory committee estimates that more than 40 murals are on display, some hidden in alleys or tucked away in parking lots. And when you find one of the hidden murals, it's like discovering an unseen treasure. Sonia Hiroshko, a local artist and member of the city's Arts Advisory Committee, said the city's collection of wall murals started as a random effort by unknown artists in the 1970s that eventually morphed into an organized project from town businesses.
Well, it is an interesting story. It wasn't begun by artists. It was begun by the landowners, mostly on Main Street. Well, the large ones you see on Main Street. They got together and made the effort because they saw the value of the art murals on Main Street, hopefully to slow traffic down a little bit, which it does do. I mean, they are interesting. The murals that came before that, though, were all sort of like the canvas that people had at hand. And they're on South Broadway, they're on motel walls, and artists around here, because we have no dedicated exhibition space at all. We have no galleries, no dedicated exhibition space. So that's always been the way it is. So a lot of the murals are kind of hand-spun out of, like, oh, I think I'll paint something here. And possibly some of them were in trade for things. Like I remember one on a coffee shop was traded for food and coffee and stuff.
As the commercial mural project developed, Cortez businesses hired out-of-town artists, and that didn't sit well with local artists, who then lobbied the city to form an arts advisory committee to ensure that public tax revenues were used to support local artists. As a result of the committee's advocacy, the city of Cortez commissioned a series of downtown murals between 2009 and 2018, resulting in 8 large-scale works that depict Cortez history and cultures and are visible to motorists driving on Main Street. The advisory committee also published a guide that identifies all the city's known mural locations for visitors to use like a treasure map. Hiroshko says the murals not only have slowed traffic, but they've encouraged visitors to hunt for the artwork.
Over on the Share House mural that wraps around the corner, the newest one, I have so many people put on Facebook their photo ops, their tours, and they stand there like this in front of Ed's, particularly, because he's a very, very, very well-known, accomplished Native American artist, and he did autumn in this particular mural, and it's of Hovenweep. So people recognize that, and they go stand there and do a photo op, which was a really nice additional value added to why you would have these murals and how successful they are. How do you measure that?
You can find copies of the mural guide at the Colorado Visitors Center. Thanks for watching this edition of the Local News Network. Stay on top of our latest news stories on Instagram and Twitter, or listen to our stories on your favorite podcast app. I'm Wendy Graham-Settle.